Hello, we are live. There we are.
Here we are.
We are live on Facebook. Happy International Women's Day, my queen. I will ask you, I will say that you're my queen, and I'll celebrate you today as I celebrate myself and all the wonderful women who are watching us today. It has been a beautiful day, although we're coming to the end of the day, but we're still celebrating. And the celebration doesn't end today. So as you know, it's live, but we have to kind of wait 2 or 3 minutes for people to join us so that we can start our session. How are you today, Doaa?
I'm very good, my queen. How are you?
I'm fabulous. I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling like today has been a very productive day for me. For once, I've been doing my to-do list, those things that you put in the back of your mind. And I'm so happy that I managed to do a few things, and celebrating and seeing what women have been doing, posting all around the world. Although we are in the middle of the pandemic, but there are so many people who have been celebrating virtually and doing amazing things, showing what they're doing. So I'm happy that we have actually managed to sit down with Doaa and having her with us today on the Girls to Women, so that we can have an hour of knowing who she is, what she does best, what she have overcome. The theme of this year is choose to challenge. And I cannot imagine the best theme to have Doaa, because she have chose to challenge her life, her whole entire life. And I cannot wait for people who are going to be joining us, and for people who don't know Doaa, and for people who may be joining us in the near future. So Doaa, tell me, how are you and who are you? If someone don't know you, and who is this beautiful girl on Girls to Women platform, please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Lillian. You are queen yourself. My name is Doaa. I am a disability advocate. I am a wheelchair racer, and I am also, I think, a makeup artist. Yes, I forgot what I did then. Yes, and I'm a beautician as well.
We're having a little difficulties with our connection, and we cannot hear you. Just bear with us. For those who are with us, please bear with us as we try to connect properly and see if we can hear you well. I didn't get exactly what you said, but please, when we are virtually, it's always unpredictable. Yeah. So let us just give ourselves grace and give ourselves some understanding, and know that I will get it and we'll get it better. So please, if you can, again, do introduce yourself.
Of course. So my name is Doaa. I am a disability advocate, and I use my voice to fight for disability rights and for women's rights, as well as being a feminist. I am a wheelchair athlete, and I'm also a beautician.
Wow. Imagine you are an advocate for disability, and as yourself, you are a wheelchair user, and you're a beautician. You have so many hats that you wear, and yet you still have time for the world, and still have time to see what you can do to bring a positivity to other women, to other girls. So I'm so intrigued how this hour will unveil, and how we are going to be talking and getting to know you even more. And even for us as women, because we're celebrating International Women's Day, it's very important for us to know that challenges that we face every day, they are not just challenges that make us small or hinder us, but those challenges are stepping stone for us to go forward. So I'm just going to ask you, as you're saying you're a disability advocate, what does that mean for someone who doesn't know you, for someone who is the first time they see you? What do you do as an advocate?
Yeah, so a disability advocate is someone who basically goes out to basically dismantle and advocate on the disability narrative. And as my role as a disability advocate, what I do and so passionate about doing, going out there and changing society's preconceived notions of what disability really is. We do not get the representation that we deserve and that I wanted to see as a little girl growing up. So I did to become the representation that I needed and that the world needs to see for a much more accurate and fair representation of what disability really is. So that is what disability advocacy is. It's going out there, fighting against society, fighting against ableism, any injustices of disability, and that's what I'm so truly passionate about. And you said at the start where you're grateful that I'm giving up my time to talk and do this, but that is literally what I do, and that's what I'm passionate about. It is giving my time to educate and really make a better world for people like myself.
That's amazing. And how do you do it, Doaa? How do you become this girl who was born with disability and all this limitation as a young girl, finding yourself, finding your foot into the world? How did you do it? What did you overcome to become who you are today? Because for people who are looking at you, they're looking at this beautiful girl who is on the screen, but what they don't know is the trajectory that you went through to become who you are today, for the world to come to know you. Can you tell us a little bit of your story? What are those challenges that you went through? As we know, the theme of this year is choose to challenge. What did you choose to challenge for you to become who you are today?
So growing up as a woman, well, as a young girl with a disability, and I couldn't come into terms with being different. I couldn't come into terms with my disability, and I wanted to fit society and fit that box that everybody likes to put people in. And it didn't take until 20 years, but it took me about 20 years to really find a place where I said to myself, it was actually after a mental breakdown where I just couldn't go on. I couldn't just sit there and have society manifesting all the ableist ways and the way it was me as an individual with a disability, how I didn't see no representation. There was nobody out there that showed me that I could be someone, that I could be something. And I literally was going through at some point, and I couldn't see what I wanted to see that could motivate me and make me feel like this is a bad day, someone's out there smashing life and that will be you. I couldn't see that. It was never there. Growing up, that was just not even a thing. So after realizing that, if I keep going the way down that self-destructive path, it will eventually turn into a bigger tragedy than being disabled, you know? So
Yeah.
I decided to enough is enough. I had that mental bit where I just started attacking everyone with bits of me. And I just had to sit by myself in my room and really, really, really dig deep into the roots of where I want to be and who I want to be. And if I don't see the representation out there, then I need to become that representation. I need to advocate. I need to stand up and show up for my community, and most of all, for the little girl in me that has always wanted to succeed and always wanted to be someone, but has always been shut down by the world because she's in a wheelchair. And now she's here dismantling and choosing to challenge the world and its negative preconceptions of me.
Wow. Wow. I can bow. 20 years in the making. But isn't it that amazing? Isn't that the natural way? Because so many of us, even without a disability, a physical disability, it takes a long time to become who you were created to be. I think it's even harder when you have a physical disability that stops you from doing the normal things that other people do. So my next question will be, I know you have overcome some challenges, which is like losing weight, becoming an athlete in her own right, becoming a beautician in your own right, being a makeup artist. Look at how you look amazing. You do it by yourself. You know, what made you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a change in spite of everything that is happening to me.
So when I first got into the fitness and sport industry, I never saw myself belonging. It's always been telling me that people like me do not belong. And to find the courage and to really push past boundaries and limitations that I had, manifested from the world telling me that, someone like me couldn't. And I'd often question my own ability and wonder if it is for me and if I should go ahead and do it. And I kind of just bit the bullet and I just went with it. Like, what was the worst that could happen? And I got into sport and I saw so much. A lot of what I am and who I am today, a lot of people don't know, and they think that is to do with just my disability and just growing out of being so resentful towards my disability. But it was down to my sport. It is all down to my athletics career, that it gave me the confidence to know that I do belong and I can be just as successful and I can do sport. I just have to do it differently. Like the feeling being in my racing chair and going, laps and laps around the track or training on the road alongside other runners, etc. It made me feel like I was like them. Like I felt alive. I felt like I'm able. My wheelchair is enabling me to do that. And yes, it's a little bit different to everyone else, but I'm still doing it. And it gave me the confidence within to take on the world and challenge life and to move on to doing the advocacy as well.
Wow. It's such an amazing story, Doaa. It's such an amazing story. I just do wonder, behind such a strong girl, I know that your mother, I am a mother, I have 4 children, and I know for you to become this girl who is today relating her story through tears. I know you have had tears. I know you've cried. I know you've been depressed. I know you have battled all these mental health problems. Can you tell us a little bit about the mental health problems that you have gone through to become who you are today? I'm just trying to let people who are listening to us, who are probably celebrating this day, feeling on top of the world, but remembering that there is women who are not on top of the world. There are girls who are not on top of the world, and they want to be on top of the world. Maybe if they listen to Doa's story, they may feel like they can be on top of the world. So that's why I'm trying to dig a little bit deep and hear a little bit of your story, so that we're talking to that woman who's under her quell and who don't want to wake up probably tomorrow to face the day. How did you overcome your mental health, and what kind of mental health did you go through?
So my mental health was extreme. It was a build-up over the years of trying to be someone I'm not. And that really, really takes its toll on a human being. When you're acting out a life that's not yours, you're trying to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
And I would often try and act like I don't have a disability. I compare myself to girls who can walk, who don't have disabilities. And I kept doing that for years and years and years, just trying to fight my way out of my body. I hated my marginalized body. I completely just hated it. And I never let myself, get in my feelings or understand myself. I was a kid, a child who, when a child has anything that's not the same as anyone else, that they're baffled by it. They question it. They feel like they're not normal. And then on top of that, with the world that we live in, it makes you feel ugly. And I felt ugly. I didn't feel like I belonged, and I looked different, and I tried to fight it. But eventually doing that completely destroyed me. And I just couldn't physically do it. Which then over the years, it was kind of like I was just brushing everything under the carpet. Just as I go, speak about anything, I don't acknowledge anything, I don't acknowledge my own existence, and I'm trying to be someone else. And that's when I broke down, physically, mentally, emotionally, and I had to really dig deep and come to realize that I need to come to terms with my disability. I need to embrace it. I need to love it. I need, even if there are things, there are things now that I'm neutral about, and that is okay. It is okay to be neutral about parts of your body. There are scars from surgeries, from whenever, as soon as I came out of the womb, I was in surgery. Like, there are things that I cannot learn to love, but as long as I become neutral and okay about them, then I can move on with my life and accept it. And that was really the only way I could continue to live. Otherwise, who knows what state I will be mentally, or if I would even be here. I had so many suicidal tendencies and just fantasies of just not being here. I just completely hated everything about my life and me as a human being. And I don't even know sometimes how I've managed to switch. It was literally like a light bulb moment. And I worked from then. I'd read mental health books. I love reading. I read a lot. I write a lot. I use like my Instagram posts and stuff as my diary to express my feelings, to not let things in and, well, let them out. And I've learned that letting things out and saying things how they are and expressing yourself is the most important thing, because I've felt how it is to not say what you feel, and keeping it in ruins you. So yeah, that's how I did it.
So, what an amazing story you just relating. You just say so many things in one. Not keeping things down, trying to talk through challenges that you're going through, and maybe you are channeling your frustration by writing, and you do it very, very abruptly. Your posts are provocative, and some people, we may find it a little bit, oh gosh, that is too much. But I think it's provocative because of a reason. You are we call each other women of color because I come from Africa, you come from an Arab origin. Your religion, you are a Muslim. So all those things combined together even makes your struggle even greater than any other people who will be going through the same thing as you do, because culture kicks in. The norms of how people see women in your culture kicks in. And the norms of how families see a woman with disability kicks in. So you have so many voice talking to you, and you have so many reasons not to stand up and be yourself. And I'm just admiring the courage that you have, even to come out and be an advocate after all those obstacles. And I think the theme of this year, Choose to Challenge, I can see #Doaa, because that is what she has done all her life. You have chose to challenge your culture, you have chose to challenge everything that has been thrown at you, and you're here to let us know that everything is possible. I remember looking at one of your stories. I think you were showing your picture when you were a little bit younger, and you wasn't into sports that much. Can you talk us about it? You were comparing how you looked then and how you look now. What is the difference inside when now you have find sport as something that can make you liberated and make you fly, because otherwise you wouldn't, because of the ability of walking? Talk to us through it.
So before I started sport and fitness, I was overweight.
Yeah.
And the reason I was overweight, of course, a massive part is being a wheelchair user. And, it's not rocket science that, it takes a lot more effort for me to get my body moving than it would, say, youth, right? And of course, we've got invisible disabilities and stuff that we need to be aware of. And some people, you just can't see their disability just by looking at them. But I think with me being, limited in the way that I don't run or walk. I do walk on crutches, but it's not as just walking like anyone else. And that's how I spent my childhood. And for me, when I got into sport, I was overweight. And that was purely down to kind of eating myself into my sorrows, depressed. Didn't see there was anything in life for me.
Yeah.
So I just eat, stress eat, and that showed. And it made getting into sport quite difficult, because I was a bit unfit. I struggled with breathing. There was quite a bit of weight that needed to shift. But I did it because I enjoyed it, and because I felt freedom in being on the track by myself, laps and laps around the track, where I felt alive and I felt like I was actually doing something. The track listened to me. It listened to my problems. And by doing that, over the years of growing and becoming an athlete and competing, competitively into sport at a high level, then you start to see the weight goes down. You're a lot leaner, a lot fitter. It becomes an addiction. You just want more. And I really struggled with my weight, like any other female. Us girls, we're being compared onto social media every single day, and it's not hard to just compare yourself. And I did do that a lot, of course. And when I started losing weight, I felt good. I felt good, and I changed my eating habits and started exercising, going out, training, and then slowly, mentally, you're in a much better place, and then that physically follows, and it's amazing. It's all thanks to my sport.
Amazing. You're just telling us that you can come from a place where you are feeling, you are eating, and someone in the comment just said it's very common. People eat for comfort. And that's true. I've done that. You eat because that is the easiest thing to do when you feel bad and down and you feel there is nothing to life. and then suddenly you come to senses and you say, I want to do something else. Let me just wake up. Let me get out of bed and do something, and let me do it for myself, and keep going. And that's what you did. And I remember, I think a few days ago, I was telling you how I struggle running, and you said, come on, Lillian, do it in your own pace. You don't have to do it like someone else. Like, just take few steps. Just go as if you're just trying to go on the pace that you have. And that is how I think life is. I think it's when we stop comparing ourselves to everybody else, and those first steps, little steps, and just for the sake of those who are joining us and who are listening to us, can you say the how can I say, I don't know how to say it, how can we call your disability? Does it have a name? It may be someone who's watching and have had the same surgeries that you have, and have gone through what you have gone through. Do you have a name on it, so that for those who are watching us know, they might be seeing you sitting and not understanding really what you go through every single day?
Absolutely. My condition is called spina bifida, and it is the incomplete development of the spine, and it leaves a gap, and the nerve endings are completely damaged, hence to why I have no sensation in my feet, my legs, parts of my legs, it's patchy, so I can't feel sensations gone in a lot of parts of my legs, and it results into difficulty into walking without crutches.
So thank you very much, Doaa. That at least will give some of our viewers the understanding of the struggle that you go through every single day, and the struggle that you have gone to come and become who you are, become this girl who stand and can speak. And people are saying very inspirational. You are inspirational. I told you since day one I saw you, I say you speak with such grace. You speak as if you own the own right in your heart. And I think that as a woman it's a plus when you have understood who you are, beauty within, and then the beauty starts coming out. And that is what has happened to you. Now, what you're doing, tell us where you're going from now going forward. What is your inspiration? What are you looking forward to do? I know we broke down for a year. Can you imagine? What are you looking forward to? What is the plan that you have for the next 2-3 years? Who is Doaa becoming as a woman?
I love that question, because Doaa is becoming an unapologetic, fearless woman, and I'm doing that every single day. I'm using this lockdown to educate my mind, my soul. I'm reading, I'm taking the time to, and I'm going to be quite honest, it's been extremely hard for me physically. Like, I've not been able to do what I was doing before lockdown, where I was going out every day, every morning, like exercising, gym. Like, I've really lost my motivation, but I'm not dwelling on that, and I'm finding other ways to be productive and to develop myself. And if you don't develop your mental state and your mental health, then forget your body, because if you don't have it up here, you ain't never going to have it done anywhere else. So that is so important, and that's what I'm doing now, because we can always improve, and we can always do better, and we will never be perfect. And I think this is a message that we need to really get into grips with. You'll never be perfect, no matter how much you strive.
Yeah.
Be the best you can be, and you are great and perfectly unique in your own way. Don't try and fit in. So, educate yourself, be productive, do what's good for you, do what you can manage. Don't try and push. Don't try and look at people on social media. Oh, these are doing 5 a.m. runs every day. Like, that's their business. That's their schedule. Your schedule is what works for you, and as long as you're getting benefit from it, and it's helping you, then that is all you need to care about.
So you're saying start here. So we choose
Start now.
We're choosing to
Start
challenge. Doaa, we're choosing to challenge. And I love when we say that, because it's like us women are telling the world we are choosing to challenge you for equality. We are choosing to challenge you for inequality that is there out there in the world. But actually, how about we choose first to challenge ourselves?
Yeah.
How about we choose to challenge our mind? How about we choose to challenge how we treat other women, our fellow women? How we choose to challenge how we treat our friend, our young, I'm talking to you as a young girl. You are a young woman in your own right. You still have a long way to go. But you are challenging me. You telling me things that I need to take care of. you telling me that I have to look after my mental health before even I start going to the gym or I start running. I have to tell myself, Lillian, you are okay. You will be okay. So we're telling someone who's watching today, probably things have gone on top of you because of the lockdown, and life is not the same as it used to be. You haven't seen your loved one for a long time. You have to look at deep within. Start with here. Tell yourself you can do it. Doaa is doing it. She's doing it with the limitation of her own body. She's doing it with the limitation of her mental state of mind. She's doing it with so many things that can stop her doing, but she's doing it. I am doing it here. My passion for Girls to Women, it comes from a place where I feel if I am a woman and I've been a girl and I know how hard it is to be a girl, how do I transition that? How do I pave a way for girls to understand that it's okay to be vulnerable? It's okay to not have it all together. And by the end of the day, you will get where you want to be, but you have to start from here. And I think choose to challenge. Let's challenge our own self. Let's grow first from within out. And let us build this community of women and girls going to be supporting each other. Tell me about it, Doaa. What is it, your plan that you have to support not only people to advocate not only for people who have disability, but you told me, I think 3 days ago, you said, Lillian, I have 3 obstacles in my life. 3. Can you talk to us about them? Because I don't want to talk about where you come from, your disability, and being a woman. Come on, let us know. Tell us those 3 obstacles that you have and you face every single day.
So yeah, what I said was the 3 things that I face. That they could be seen as obstacles, but to me, I could use them to my advantage. So it is being a woman of color, being a woman, and having a disability. Those are very 3 heavy, hard-hitting things. And every day I'm facing some sort of ableist, racism in some sort of way that I have to, I wouldn't say overcome, but just kind of deal with. Yeah. And I'm rather than crying about it and thinking that, oh, I'm so disadvantaged, I've got too many things, I'm never going to get anywhere, there's just too many things shutting me down, I'm using them they make me so unique.
Oh.
There aren't people that have such big things that make them stand out so much. Yeah. Why not use it to stand out? And I do it so unapologetically.
Come on. And you do it so beautifully. So beautifully. We share so many things, and we share so many things with people who are watching us today. Those stopping block that we have in life, you're just telling us they should be our starting point. So you have 3. I may have 2 or 3. Someone else may have 4. We don't know. But
We
let
don't need
those
to compare.
things.
That's the thing. Like, that's the trap that people get into.
Yeah.
You don't have to have so many obstacles to beat me or for me to beat you. Like, you are individual to yourself. Do not compare yourself. Use what you've got and slay at it. You know, don't think that, oh, I don't have enough, that means I'm not nothing. Like, we're all different. We're all individual. We all have a story to tell. Don't ever compare or try and tell someone else's story. Tell yours. Yours is unique to you.
And yours is true, because no one can say it's better than you. Your narrative is yours. We're choosing to challenge this year. And we say we're not going to just do it today. This is a movement that we are starting today, but we're going to carry on all along this year. We don't want to do it for ticking the box, but we want to make sure that, as Doaa says, these stopping things, these things that stop us to evolve and become great women and great girls, are the stepping stone for us to do better. So we're going out there, we're coming out to you, for whoever is watching us and whoever who is going through hard time. We see you, we hear you, we are here with you. You are not just by yourself, we are together. You might not see us physically, but we are here. We are saying, in this lockdown, Doaa said she looked after her mental health. She was reading. She was educating herself. She was trying to do things that she never done before because the world stopped and she couldn't go anywhere else. So we're telling others, challenge yourself to be better so that after all this, you are going to the next level. And I know, Doaa, that the future is bright for you. I know, Doaa, that you're going to give courage to so many girls. There are so many girls who are so feeling down. They feel like they're not good enough. They cannot do it well enough. They cannot speak well. You know, I don't know how to speak. I'm not a very good speaker. But that is not the problem. The problem is that you have to know that you have a story. So choose to challenge yourself. Mental health is so important. So Naomi is telling us mental health is so important. And we are going to stand together. And we are going to fight this big mountain, which is called mental health. But we can't do it on our own. So we are challenging women who are listening to us. We're challenging girls who are listening to us. We're telling them, come and join us. Let's do this movement. And you joining us doesn't mean that you have to be with us here, but do it for your next door neighbor. Do it for that girl that you see crying on the street and you don't know what's going on in her life. Look after them and make sure that they feel as if they're seen. So Doaa, tell us you told me that you have done some wheelchair racing. What kind of competition did you go to? Just to name the few, if you can, please.
I competed in high-level athletics. So I went away to Paris to get internationally qualified and to compete. I've travelled all around the UK. Being in Plymouth, it's always a bit of a trek because the people that I compete with, they're all, you know, in the Midlands. So it took a lot of dedication, and so much of the people that I'm so grateful for who have supported me, sponsorships, coach. There was a lot that went into sport and to get me into competing, you know, just being there with everyone else. Yeah, it was hard, and sport nowadays as well, it's so much money goes into it. Funding's always an issue, sponsorships, etc. But I was very blessed enough to be sponsored by Devon Dockyard, Babcock, and they helped me so much in providing me with fees to be able to make my races. So in the sport industry, it's definitely about teamwork. I mean, it's about teamwork altogether, do you know what I mean? But I think that's where I definitely had the support that I needed. I think the advocacy, it can be misinterpreted. Some people cannot relate. They don't understand, or some don't want to understand, or don't want to fathom what someone like me has to go through. Whereas in sport, you know, it's just get that person to compete, give them the opportunity, and there's still so many obstacles and so many issues with funding that, you know, are a completely different story to get into. But within the Plymouth community and the people involved in my sports career, that I'm very, very grateful for all the help that they've given me.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And I think shout out to them that they look at you and say that you really deserve a shot, and they sponsored you and they helped you to become who you are today. And I don't know, but I think there is, you are saying about advocacy, and you're saying about how people maybe cannot relate. I think someone will not relate because they have never gone through struggle. But if someone have gone through struggle and they hear someone else talk about that struggle, they will always relate. I relate with you not because I've gone through the same struggle as you, but I relate to you because I've gone through some struggles, and I know how hard it is to come out of a struggle and to become someone else that the world is thinking that you can become. So I know that your advocacy is more important because you've told me advocacy is something that you're going into. How are you prepared? How have you prepared yourself? Because you know, when you're being an advocate, it's not easy. People will judge you. People will judge your opinion. People will judge how you understand things. So how are you doing your advocacy? How are you going with it? And how many difficulties are you finding along the way?
I mean, Lillian, I've you know, my disability advocacy, it's still very, very new. It's just over a year and a half, whereas sport, in the sport for 10 years. So the advocacy is almost nothing compared to my wheelchair racing. And I'm still learning, and I still have such a long way to go. It's actually quite overwhelming how long I have to go. And there's been, you know, situations where I've been disheartened and felt like, you know, with the response and things like that, is this worth it? Is this, am I just shouting to myself? Like, am I talking to a brick wall? Like, is this how it feels? Should I keep going? Is there any point of educating? Does the world even care? You know, the world denies my existence as a whole, let alone to sit there and listen to me rant about what they're not listening about, you know? So it's hard. And I think any advocate who puts himself in that position is going to face that at some point in their advocacy career. And I think we all have to start somewhere. And that is truly something that I have to keep telling myself when it gets tough, when I feel like, is it really worth it? I have to really remember what the end goal is and who I'm starting this for and why I'm doing it. And that is for the little girl in me who needed the woman that I am today, who needed to see that when she was young. And for those who are like me, who don't have that representation. There's so many of us out there now that I've been involved with the advocacy, and I see that there's a lot, but we could always shout out more. There could always be more. And I think it's about having people being allies for us, people who aren't disabled, to be allies for the disability community. That is so powerful because your voices are way stronger than mine. I'll always be seen as someone who is ranting or miserable about her disabled life, but if someone who doesn't have a disability and is of a privilege is shouting out for us, standing for us, you know, no pun intended, then that's what we need. And the advocacy, I just got to keep going, Lillian. I just got to keep. I'm passionate. I can't express to you the passion I have for it and the change that I need to make. I know I've got a goal. I know where I'm going, and yes, it's hard, but I know that in the end, I'll find a way that I will be so grateful and so glad that I continued with my quest to change and changing the completely disrupting the disability narrative. That's what I'm here. I'm a disruptor. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to disrupt your vision of what disability is and your narrative. And I'm going to set it straight, whether you like it or not. I have the right to. I am someone who can speak my story. And there's a lot of people who voice mine, that our voices get lost in the void of non-disabled people. And we can't stand for it anymore. We have to keep shouting off the top of our lungs to be heard, because it's about time. And justice needs to be served for disabilities.
It has to. And speaking from a shared experience, it's more powerful than anything else. Someone is just saying, these are some very important conversation. So glad they're being shared. I'm just showing you, I'm just sharing with you some messages that we are getting through, I think, this and that. Yes, and I'm so glad people want this conversation, because it's not only about the subject we're talking about is vast. And I think I spoke to you a few days ago, and I was so emotional because I felt like is not going to be only on disability. You are advocating for everybody who has had their voice silenced for one reason or the other. So if you stand up and do it, no one else tell themselves that can't do it. And I think if saying it's a long road, I know it is. Starting something, it's not an easy. It's not. I have put this vision of Girls to Women for 5 years under the rug, thinking it wasn't good enough. Maybe people don't need it. Women are very hard to get through. And I was telling myself, I am a woman too. Why am I talking to myself like that? So if I feel like this is something that is needed, and if I didn't do it today, I wouldn't be speaking to you, Doaa, and we wouldn't be sharing this with the world. Exactly. So you have to do it. You have to start. We don't have to have millions of viewers for us to start. We just have to have ourselves listening to ourselves, and hopefully there are few people who are listening and enjoying. So if you are listening and you have any question for Doaa, please drop it in the comment, and she'll be very happy to respond. But for me, myself as well, you know, this is a journey that I've started not long ago. It's Girls to Women, Still a Baby. We started in 2020 before the lockdown. And I've done, this is my second live. I'm not very good at doing lives, but I think this is the only way where you can reach the unreachable. You can reach those who are just behind their screen looking for something inspirational. I'm a woman who doesn't have much, but whatever I have, I want to share it. And I feel like if I can share my little bit and you can share your little bit, there is a woman that's going to be inspired, and they will be coming up, and they will be coming up one step at a time. What I see is me reaching to the younger generation, like the Doas, and Doaa reaching to those more younger, and then the chain goes on. I know that there are people that I look up to for inspiration. But if we do that, and we do that with a good heart, without comparing ourselves to others, without feeling inferior because Doaa is speaking so openly, she have this way of speaking, maybe it's just for Doaa. No, it's not. It's for you too. You can do it. If you have a story, you can do it. There are so many girls who are self-harming because they don't know how to express themselves. And they don't even know if no one can hear them. And as women who are grown up, we sit and feel comfortable. So I'm challenging women like me. Come on, let us take our experience and let us share it with the younger generation. Let them tell them it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to be insecure. It's okay to feel not all together. But guess what? You will get there. Slowly follow your passion. Follow what is in your heart. Keep doing you. Don't look to the other person to compare yourself. And as long as you do that, you will get to your destination and you will inspire somebody next to you. So Doaa, before, I know time is not on our side. We still have 12 minutes because we said we're going to do an hour. And we say that we're going to have some Q&A. People are going to ask questions. Before we go into the Q&A and before anybody throw any question that they feel like they want to know more about you, because I might have missed something. I had a little note here. I'm just checking. But I think I missed so many things because you are so you a lot of wealth in you that you have to share with the world. If there is a little,
I know I rant a lot as well, Lillian. You set me off, and I'll just go blah, 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 about something, and it shows the passion, you know. That's what I say anyway.
But I don't think you did that. I think you said it all really, really. Someone is just saying, I would love this video to be available later on so they can share it with others. And I know this, that is very true. Maybe people are a bit are very busy at the moment, but on our platform, all our platform, people may be able to share it again. So what are you telling the little girl who has any physical disability, any mental disability, something that is stopping them? What are you telling a little girl who may be somewhere and they feel so lost? What is a message of hope can you give them at the right moment? Something that is deep in your heart and you feel like, I want to share it.
Honestly, it is to not let anyone, including society, put you in a box and keep you there to be digestible, be indigestible. If I can say anything, be fearless and don't digest to them, you know. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Be your own person, be your own hero. I think we're often looking around for people to inspire us and motivate us, and that's great, but the only person that will inspire and really get you to where you want to be is you. It's all down to you. Don't let anyone define you. Don't let your disability and society's narrative of it define you and keep you in that cage. Be indigestible, fly, be unapologetic, embrace yourself, love yourself, because we live in a society that profits off of our self-hatred and insecurities. Be the one to challenge that and to not fit the mold. And that's all I can say.
Come on. We're telling them, come out. Be yourself. If no one can do it, I don't have an excuse and we don't have an excuse. We cannot say we don't have anything to give. We have everything to give, which is us. If I can give me to you, then I know that I've given you everything. I have seen you. I have understood you. And I'm holding your space. We're being human here, Doaa, and we as human. And we're coming saying we're not all perfect, far from that. But we're saying, with that imperfection that we have, let's hold each other's accountable to what we can do for self, what we can achieve when we put our mind down and say, this can be done. Though I cannot wait to see platform that you are going to sit on, because I know they're coming. And I know that there are so many things that that can be done with your story. I would love to hear young girls coming to you and asking you so many questions. I love to see you going to schools and inspiring people and saying, you can do it. There is someone who say it would be amazing as a creative to be able to know how I can contribute and use my skill to benefit your platform and the voice you give a platform to. So Dani Andreva is offering her skills. She wants to know how she can be benefit to your platform, to our platform, to be able to use her skills to benefit you. and benefit the girls to women in 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 general. How amazing is that? Thank you very, very much, Andrea. Thank you, Danny. And we want people like you. We want to see people like you, people who are saying we can do it. And I believe that as we celebrate International Women's Day, one day, though, you might be able to go back to your motherland with your story, because I know that with technology, there are some people in your motherland who will watch you. But I know that you can go back and do some amazing stuff. I know that you can do some amazing stuff here. And I know that you can do some amazing stuff around the world. So I want to thank you for your courage. I want to thank you for never giving up, even when it was hard. I want to thank you for holding the space and being able to become this woman you are becoming. I just want to ask you a question, but I'm asking you a question for you to answer me. I have a passion for girls. And this passion comes because I am a mom of girls. And I want my girls to be able to have somebody that I never had when I was growing up to tell me that it's okay not to be okay. I want you to tell me and tell the women, the grown-up women who are watching us, Doaa, can we challenge the women? What do you want to see in us to be able to encourage you to go forward? What do you want us to be doing? What do you want to see the women who are in leadership? Yeah? The women who are holding seat, maybe in the city of Plymouth, maybe in Devon, maybe in the Southwest. What do you want to see women doing to support people like you who are emerging and want to achieve their dreams and their goals for the better of the society?
I think you're already, Lillian, doing a massive, massive part of it, and that is by giving younger women like me the platform to share our story from our own life, from our own spoken truth. And that is the most important thing that you can do to continue to encourage younger girls to be and follow the path of you queens who've been through that level and that path. And like I say, we are princesses to you, and you are queens paving the way for us, and we need you to continue to do that and to continue building us up and understanding us no matter how difficult it may be. I think generation things are a massive thing. I have it with my mother. You know, the world that we are in now is very different to the world that you were in when you were our age or younger, you know, and it's really important for you and us to really understand each other and to work as a team and to work as together, and as women doing that. And rather than, I think as women, we're always so competitive and we're always comparing each other and we're always trying to outdo the other and all of this, and it's so wrong. We're falling into the stereotype because it's a stereotype, and we've let it become a thing when really queens empower queens, and that's what it's about. It's not about seeing each other's competition, but rather coming together. And who knows what women can do when they actually come together rather than try and attack and all the things that women do.
They will conquer the world. That's for sure. That's for sure. Queens empowers queens. Hashtag Doaa. I don't even know if I said it right. Queens empowers queens.
Yeah.
Even for you saying that, it makes me feel as a queen. You know, you feel like the crown is sitting on your head. And how am I wearing my crown? You know, am I wearing it straight?
Never let it slide.
Is it good? Am I looking good?
You look incredible.
Exactly.
You wear the crown so flawlessly, and that's what you do with the whole, the girls to women. That's you, a queen, setting it yourself. You're giving younger girls somewhere to go, and as girls, as women, we're often unable to. There's not a lot out there for us. We're constantly fighting injustices, and that's my part of also with what I do, being a feminist. That's another side. Aside from the disability, there's so many injustices as women that we need to dismantle
together.
And we do it together.
We
Absolutely.
can only do it together. We can only do it together. As older women, I don't even know if I'm gonna call myself that, but again, whatever I am, I'm comfortable with that. We can do it together. I cannot hold this platform by myself. I will need women who will come and keep empowering, keep inspiring, keep saying it's okay. It's okay. You will get there. And then giving that space to these young girls, not only this publicly, there are people who are doing amazing job in their own right. So we are celebrating you. We are celebrating women who are doing so much. We are celebrating women who are breaking ceilings. Today, International Women's Day, we are celebrating women who are doing amazing even in their own homes. We are celebrating women who are raising children who might become next doctors, next truck drivers, next military, next. We are celebrating you today. We are choosing to challenge ourselves and saying our mental health matter. We need to be okay with ourselves. Our head and mindset needs to be in a better place for us to be able to hold this everything together. So I'm so honored, Doaa, to be doing this with you. And I'm so happy that the time is now. And it just started at this International Women's Day. Oh gosh, there is a message that's so good. I just have to read it. It says, "You have made my International Women's Day. Thank you. I can't wait to see more or both of your work blossom. There is so much potential for change. And with women like you in the front line, I truly believe that it is possible." That for you, girl. That for you. That for you. Truly believe that it is possible. Truly believe that there is no stop to what you can do. Even if you're not racing anymore, but you are going to be racing with your life and the life that is going to be in front of you. And it's amazing because you have an athlete mentality, and this is going to help you. So before we end, because I know we say we're going to finish at 7, and it's 2 minutes past 7, a last word for all of us.
For me, obviously, who else? Last word.
Are you saying anything to us before we end?
Be ineffable. That's all I'm going to leave you guys with.
Can you say it again, please? We didn't get that properly.
I said be ineffable.
Be
ineffable.
Ineffable. Wow.
And if you don't know what that means, search it up and be it.
Oh, that's a challenge. That's a challenge. Come on. That's another challenge. Go and Google it.
Lillian, I'm gonna have to be rude and love you and leave you. I have another Zoom call to attend, but it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes.
You are an absolute queen. Thank you for giving me another platform to speak my story. Keep doing your thing, Queenie, and I cannot wait to continue connecting with you and building something beautiful, building our empire as queens.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for giving us your time. We cannot wait to do more and do better and keep striving for becoming the better of ourselves. Thank you. Don't do too much today. Have time to put your feet up and celebrate International Women's Day. And I can't wait to hear from you soon. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. Stay
Bye-bye.
beautiful. Bye, Queen.
Thank you. Bye, Queen. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. I cannot wait to see what Doaa gonna do next. And for those who have been watching us, this is Girls to Women celebrating International Women's Day with me, Lillian Uwimana. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing what you have taken from this. Thank you for those who have taken time to come and be with us on this live. And I'm sure if you know that there is someone that can benefit from this live, please share this message and let us change the world together. Together, we can do it. Together, we can get far. So we're challenging ourselves to do this journey together. Follow us on our Instagram. Follow us on Facebook, share this page, and then share the message with everyone. Happy International Women's Day. Choose to challenge. Thank you for being with us. Bye-bye.